is there any piece of that you've either created or performed yourself that's your, favorite thing or
Favorite. Oh
you're
wow. Oh
feeling
God,
good?
that's so much. Oh my gosh. From classical, I love the Black Swan pas de deux
Mm.
to I've always done Arabian and Nutcracker, but then I've done contemporary work. Everything I ever did with Daniel Katnak, I love all of his movement. I got to do some Michael Smuin choreography. I mean, I've so much. I would have to say choreography really had a blast choreographing Snow White because I got to kind of create my own score of music, and that was really exciting. So I could make my own story out of it. And I did research of all these Snow White scores, and they're really boring. So I just went and found my own music, and it made the ballet so much more exciting. And then choreographing Nutcracker each year, I always try to change it up a little just because I don't want to do the same thing all the time. So that's always fun. Guys and Dolls was just like an amazing, I was terrified to do it because it was my thesis and I'd never done like a straight, legit old world musical.
Hmm.
But I got to get into the groove of learning about the history of it and then kind of making my own version of it with kind of a tongue-in-cheek of it's obviously outdated, the sexism and everything was written in the 50s, but the women were turning into these amazing, powerful characters. But I still kept the heart of the comedy, the heart of what Damon Runyon wrote. And having a blast with the movement and the music is just awesome. So I was really excited to keep going with that. And I had a blast choreographing what I could of that. That was really fun.
Yeah. And how does that process start? How do you get started creating a choreography just from?
Uh, Everyone's got their own process. For me, I'm very music driven. The music has to, that's why creating Snow White, I wanted to find my own music. And then also whether it's an abstract or Guys and Dolls, the story, I love narrative. I love telling a story. So, having the music kind of be like the script
Mhm.
of how I want the message to come through. Um, that yeah, for me it's the music. I love the music and then the story, those two. And then you just get in the studio and you start to think of, for Guys and Dolls, I looked back at old footage of it and see that style, but then I kind of put my own flair in it. And it's always for a choreography for me, it's always like, oh, that looks good. It's never something I
Mhm.
don't go in there like, this is exactly what we're going to do. There's just no way, not with movement. And also you got to look at, does that work for them? And you have to have
Mhm.
that connection with the dancers. Does that work for you? Or do you feel comfortable with this? So yeah.
Awesome. And you'd mentioned being in New York, and so how long were you there in New York?
Oh, off and on, many years. I just back and forth. I traveled with Ballet Hispanico, and then I worked with Cirque du Soleil for a year in Vegas. So I was just for a
Oh, wow.
long, got off and on many years.
And because I get, if anybody's asking about theater or dance or any of those subjects, they say, I want to go to New York. I want to go to the
Yeah,
big stage. What
yeah.
what sort of advice do you have for them as
Um,
aspiring
it
dancers?
depends on what they're pursuing. Obviously, if you want to do more film, people are going to say go to California.
Yeah.
For ballet, it's not necessarily just New York because now there's so many top-notch ballet companies all over the world.
Mhm.
Pacific Northwest Ballet in Seattle,
Mhm.
Denver Ballet. I mean, everywhere. They're all over. So now you can go anywhere. Ballet Austin, Houston Ballet. I mean, they're North Dakota. I mean, everywhere. So usually if you want to be in a ballet company, the best road is that get legitimate training. And then each summer, usually these big companies will have summer intensives. You go to their summer intensives so they know who you are.
Mhm.
And then hopefully you absolutely can still go to universities. Now we have amazing dance departments. So that's totally normal. And nowadays you can just dance profession and get your degree online. So all of
Mhm.
that's a new world that people can do. But musical theater, I would say, okay, yeah, I would do, summer stock. The goal is Broadway. So
Mhm. Awesome. And so when students leave your classes from Lubbock Ballet to Tech or wherever, what do you want them to get from that experience with you?
um, if they want to dance professionally, I want to give them all of the tools to do that with confidence and intelligence so that they flourish for them as independent, because it's easy in the dance world to get taken advantage of just because it's so hard, and
Mhm.
it's America. We don't get paid a lot as dancers. So you have to do it because you love it. So I want them to have that confidence and that strength. But then I have so many dancers that dance all the way up to when they're a senior in high school, and they go off to become businessmen, doctors, writers, whatever. But they always say the main thing they learned is the commitment, the dedication, the value of sacrifice, time management. They got all of that studying ballet. So that, college is hard, but all of them like, college was not a challenge for me because I'd already done it in high school. I balanced all ballet and how hard it is, and the commitment and the sacrifice that usually people don't learn until they're adults, that you can't do everything, but these kids learn it early on. And then they get into college like, yeah, I need to do this first because this matters first. And they know how to manage their time. So they all excel because of that. And also their appreciation for the arts and how it can fill your soul and your mind in every aspect. So I think that I just want them to appreciate what it's done for them as human beings, rather than, I don't care if they become famous dancers. I just want them to recognize, always value where they learned, their teachers and what they learned, and then take it with them to be creative human beings.
Awesome. That well said. Well said. Well, I do you have anything else you'd like to leave our, interested students? This is kind of going to go out there to anybody interested in the arts at Tech. So, any thoughts you'd like to pass along?
Um, you know, for dancers, take class, take class, take class. You have to take class every day. Every day. Doesn't matter what the form is, whatever your style is, take class. And the even for theater, I would say take movement. Take a movement
Mhm.
class. And then I would say for the dancers, take acting, take theater class,
Oh,
because that's one thing that they don't. That's what I've learned, is how I wish I would have studied more theater. It would
mhm.
have given me so much more depth as a dancer. So I would say dancers study theater, theater study dance.
That's great cross promotion. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for giving me some time
sure.
and talking to, everybody that hopefully will watch this.
Great. Thank
Listen.
you. Thanks for asking me to come on.
Yeah, and when do you graduate?
December 2020.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll be looking
Thank
for
you.
your name. Hopefully, we'll be back to, normal by then. But
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
yeah. Well, thank you so much, Yvonne. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. If you
Thank
ever need
you.
anything from me, just let me know. But
I
thank you so
appreciate
much.
that. Thank you.